of these live videos, and I've got some cool stuff we're going to talk about here. I've got about 5 pages of bagpipe questions, and these are all questions that have been asked to me on my website or comments in YouTube videos or on social media and all that sort of stuff. So I put them all together. I'm just going to answer some of these questions. I'm not going to answer all 140 of them, but just kind of go through. And if you are watching here live, go ahead and you've got a question, go ahead and put it into the chat here and we'll go for it. And if you're watching on the replay, feel free to answer or ask questions there and we'll answer them in the chat or in a future video. So tons of great questions here. Before I get into that, I want to say thank you for watching the bagpipelessons.com channel here on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing. We're going to keep doing these videos. And also, before I get into the Q&A, I want to make a couple of announcements here. I've got 2 really cool events coming up next month. The first one is my very first ever New York City bagpipe experience. And I'm really excited about this. I'm going back to New York City for the first time in many, many years. So much great piping going on there and enthusiasm in the Big Apple. And I haven't been there in years. So I'm really excited to be going back for a 1-day event. It's going to be a 1-day workshop at Platt Deutsch Park restaurant. And this is October 22nd. It's a Wednesday, 1-day workshop from 10 to 5. An amazing catered lunch with drinks is provided as part of the workshop. And then stick around because at 5 o'clock, you can grab a beverage and listen to a recital that I'm going to be giving just for members of the workshop. So that's included with the workshop. So check that out at bagpipelessons.com/NYC. That's my 1-day bagpipe workshop. Announced it last week and it's been amazing. The enthusiasm has been really, really cool. Tons of signups. It's going to sell out. There's a limit to how many people we can accommodate in this venue. So please sign up. And we have a special 25% off discount for all members of pipe bands. So go sign up at bagpipelessons.com/NYC. And if you are a member of a pipe band, tell your friends, tell your bandmates, get them to come together. And you can get 25% off using the coupon code NYPipeBands. So use that coupon code and you get 25% off and put the name of your band. Awesome. Okay, straight from New York, I'm going to Dallas. It's going to be my second year attending the TNT Tartan and Taps workshop. And that is going to be a really cool event. Hundreds of pipers and drummers from all over Texas and all over the country, actually. And that is a 2-day event, the weekend of the 24th and 25th of October. So check that out. I'll put all the links in the description below, but that's tntwaco.com, tntwaco.com. It's not in Waco, it's in Dallas, Texas. So New York on the 22nd, and then Dallas on the 24th and 25th of October. So that is what's happening. All right, let's get into some of these questions. So if you have questions for me, you can put them into the chat. You can put them in the comments on any of my YouTube videos that you're watching here on the bagpipelessons.com channel. Put them there. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Email me directly. I love getting these questions. All right, here we go. I'm just picking randomly here, things that look good. How can you manage a persistently sharp high G and avoid chirping notes? Great question. So the high G note on your pipe chanter is probably one of the trickiest notes to get. And really what you want to make sure is you have a high quality pipe chanter and a high quality reed that's the right strength, that's not too dry. So I would say, to sum up and get right to the point here, probably the most common factor that leads to a super sharp high G is a reed that's too dry or a reed that's too easy. And often those things go together because a reed that's really easy will tend to be, a reed that's really dry will tend to be really easy and sharp. So I would say get your reed into a tone protector. You guys who've been following my channel and bagpipelessons.com, you know about the tone protector. It's the world's first digital chanter cap with two-way humidity control. And what that does is it stores your reed when you're not playing it. It's a cap that goes over the reed, and it stores it in the perfect environment with the right humidity. So 84%, it's stabilized, it's elevated, and it makes your reed predictable and it's not too dry. Once you've done that, if your reed is still chirping and sharp on high G, it could be that it's too easy. So then what you want to do is you want to open up the reed. So what you're doing is you're opening it up from the inside, taking those blades, those cane blades, and pushing them apart a little bit. And the way you do that is with a specialized tool that goes inside. I've got one of those. It's called the Piper's Ultimate Reed Poker. And it's round and it's tapered and it's the perfect tool for opening up your reed. Make sure it's not too dry. Make sure it's not too easy. That's what I would say. If you're still chirping, check out how much tape you have on your chanter. If you have a lot of tape on that high G hole, it's more likely to chirp. So if you have more than about a third of the hole covered on that high G, it can lead to chirping. So maybe you need that much tape because otherwise it's even sharper. What you might want to do is put a little bit of hemp on that reed so it's not quite as deep in. So the reed is a little bit further out in the chanter and that flattens off that top hand. Take off some tape. Just things to try. All pipe chanters are not the same. My favorite pipe chanter is the Infinity pipe chanter, and there's a lot of things that I love about it. The smaller holes compared to a lot of chanters, the closer spacing of the holes compared to a lot of other chanters, which makes it really comfortable to play. But also, it's really hard to make that chanter chirp. That's what I love about it. I've had other really good chanters I've played through the years, but there are certain tunes that I could never play until I got my Infinity chanter because it's just so chirpy. So consider a new pipe chanter also. If it's just no matter what you do, it keeps chirping. I remember having chanters years ago where it was just really likely to chirp on certain grace note combinations no matter what I did. And it really is it's a major pain because you want to be able to play, you want your pipes to sound good, you want them to feel good, and you also want to be able to play confidently and know that the grace notes and the notes you're playing are not going to lead to these chirps and squeals. Great, so that's that one. Next one. How can pipers keep their top hand relaxed to improve embellishment, speed, and clarity? So keeping the hands relaxed is super, super important. If you've read any of my stuff that I've written on bagpipelessons.com or watched these YouTube videos, I'm always talking about keeping the hands as relaxed as possible. And the reason you want to do that is that bagpipe music requires a lot of really precise, clean, fast fingering. And in order to maximize your finger dexterity, meaning the precision, the speed, and the control of your finger movements, you want your hands to be as relaxed as possible. And on the top hand, that's really important for all these top hand embellishments. So what are we talking about? F doubling, E doubling, D doubling, Idris, Krunluas, Mbaris, all these Pibroch embellishments, a lot of stuff on the top hand. Most people are right-handed. So that means your left hand, your top hand, is your non-dominant hand, which also adds to some of the issues that you have with finger dexterity. So you want to keep the hand as relaxed as possible. One way that I think about it is I kind of want to have a dividing line in my arm. So the upper arm, shoulder, back, muscles, chest, they're all doing the squeezing on the bag. But then I want to, from the elbow down, I want to keep my forearm, wrist, hands all the way to my fingertips as relaxed as possible. So it's something you can practice. Strike your pipes up and just play a simple note like, we'll just play low A or high A or whatever, pick a note. And really focus on, mentally, using the upper arm, shoulders, back, and chest for squeezing, but then try to relax the forearm and wrist, hands all the way down to the fingertips. Another thing that factors into that top hand tension is if your pipes are too hard, meaning your pipe chanter-reed is too hard, or if your pipes are taking too much air, meaning your drone reeds are too open wide or you have a leak somewhere. So you want to make sure that you have the pipe chanter-reed is efficient, so you get that bright, beautiful bagpipe chanter sound that we love, but it's not taking too much air. If you use the bagpipe gauge, you want to be around 30 inches of water. That's straight up and down. So if you're up to 35, your pipes are too hard. Now, some people, they say they like that. They like that harder reed. Personally, I don't like it. I want to be right around 30 plus or minus a little bit. Then that way I know my pipes are not too hard. And then I also want my drone reeds closed down as much as I can close them down without them shutting off. And I want everything to be super airtight. My hybrid Bannatyne pipe bag, make sure that's really rock hard when I inflate it. All my joints are nice and tight, so I don't have any loose hemp anywhere. My valve is tight. So everything that's supposed to be airtight is airtight. Pipe chanter-reed is the right strength and really efficient, and the drone reeds are as efficient as they can be, closing everything down. That way, you know, your pipes are as comfortable as they can be. The other thing is making sure your pipes fit you. So an issue that a lot of pipers have is that their blowpipe is too long. And you can tell that because the pipe channel is away from you and the head is back here and you're turned away. You want a bagpipe, blowpipe that's the right length. The other thing is the bag size. A lot of pipers have a bag that's too big. I personally play a small Bannatyne bag. I love that bag. The next size up from that Bannatyne makes is the extended small. It's extended, meaning it's longer in the back, but it's very slightly larger around. And then the next size up from that is the custom Willie McCallum style. So Willie is one of the all-time great pipers, great guy, really good friend of mine, fantastic piper. And Willie designed this bag to be more cut away in the front. So if you think about the pipe bag, it's the big part in the back, and then as it comes forward in your body, it tapers up to the neck that curves around to your chanter. Well, it's more thinner and more tapered in the front. And what that means is that there's less bag here where your forearm is. It's plenty of space in the back. It's like an extended small or maybe medium in the back, but in the front, it's more like a small. People love that bag. It's really, really comfortable. It's a little too large for me. I love the small bag. But if you play a large bag or a medium bag, and you're thinking about changing bags to something that's more comfortable, more ergonomic, and lets you have that top hand be a little bit more relaxed, try that Willie McCallum bag. Really, really great bag. I've got it on my shop. I'll put it in the description below. I also have a custom pipe bag that Bannatyne makes just for me that I ordered for one of my students, and it is an extended small, and the neck is longer. So depending on your arms, if you have long arms, say you're close to 6 feet tall, or maybe you just feel like you have long arms and pipe bags that you've played, you feel like you're kind of scrunched in here, that it's too close to your body and you want something further out, check out my custom extended small with the longer neck. It's 2 inches longer, and I've had so many people order this bag and love it. I thought this was going to be like a very specialty product that maybe just a couple people would buy a year, but it is quickly becoming a very, very popular bag. As people try it, they buy a second one for a second set of pipes, and they tell their friends about it. So check that out, the custom Bannatyne bag. So efficiency of bagpipes, the fit of the pipes with the bag and the blowpipe, and then finally, you just really need to practice playing with a lighter touch. Now, this is something you can practice on your practice chanter, but you're gonna have to play it on your pipes as well because you've got the squeezing and everything going here. It's really something to practice. So what I recommend is just put your hands on the chanter, just play low G. Now pay attention to how much tension is in your hand. So tension is extra squeezing and gripping beyond what you need to cover the holes. Bagpiping is all about finger dexterity. It's about raising and lowering your hands on the chanter to execute those movements in a clean, consistent, clear, fast way. So really want to be as relaxed as you can. It's very hard if your pipes don't fit you and your pipes are too hard to keep your hands relaxed. It's also hard to practice doing this if you're playing hard material, if you're playing fast material, big things that are challenging for you. So really what you need to do is step back from the more difficult material and really take something that is a lot simpler. Maybe it's so simple, you're just playing a single note. Maybe you're doing a really slow scale with like 2 or 3 breaths per note, and just focusing on keeping those hands relaxed. You can do it, but it's just something that's incremental. Anything that has to do with your body, how you hold your pipes, how you blow and squeeze your pipes, how you place your hands on the chanter, All those things, they take a while if you have a certain way you've been doing it and you want to change. And if you've ever made a big change like this in piping, where you've changed a posture, maybe you've changed how your thumb goes, maybe you changed your size of your bag, maybe you're really trying to improve your blowing steadiness. These things are in your body. They take time. So just give yourself time. Give yourself credit for trying. I would say do it every day or at least 4 times a week. If you can't practice every day, do the best you can. But what you don't want to do is take multiple days off in a row. Some people just play Monday to Friday and take the weekends off. Other people, they do more piping on the weekends because they're not busy with work or other commitments. You want to see if you can play a few times throughout the week, 4 times minimum, without taking more than 2 days off in a row. I think that's like a general best practice for making progress and continuing to make progress and not falling behind. So we got a comment in here. Any suggestion for people with carpal tunnel? So I'm not a doctor. However, I have family members who've had carpal tunnel and had the treatment for it. And I know many people, including lots of pipers. So first thing I would say is you want to make sure that you get the right diagnosis. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a bagpiper. I was pre-med back in college, but that gives me no credentials whatsoever, other than I'm generally interested in how our hands work. So you want to get a specific diagnosis from a doctor. There are all kinds of things that can go on with your wrists and hands. There's carpal tunnel, and then there's tendonitis, and there's other sorts of things that can go on. Carpal tunnel is a very specific thing that has a very specific treatment. And the popular treatment that is very well known, it is very successful for lots of people, is surgery. And the surgery is really improved, and now it's just a tiny, tiny little slit, and they can go in there and they do what's called a carpal tunnel release. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it because I'm not the expert, but if you have issues with your wrists, talk to your doctor. It's a very specific test for carpal tunnel, and if you have that, you can get the treatment for it. And of course, you're going to have to take a little bit of time off piping, but the people that I've talked to who have suffered with carpal tunnel syndrome and then gone on to have the surgery, they are so happy. It's just a life changer. So you don't need to be living with the pain and the numbness if you can have the surgery. Great. So talk to your doctor about that. All right, let's look here. How can pipers remain motivated despite busy schedules, life obligations, and limited local instruction? There's a lot of stuff there. Who's ever felt super inspired and motivated? And who's ever not felt that way? Well, of course, we all go through those ups and downs. And I would say that it's you're lucky if you just feel like super fired up and jazzed up and motivated and inspired all the time. But most of us, we go through ups and downs. We have times that we're really inspired. And then there are also times where, other things in life take over. And that's just normal, whether it's work or family or health or travel or other commitments that you have, other hobbies. So I would say what you want to do is a couple things. Find things that motivate you and inspire you. So maybe it's just listening to more music, digging out those piping tapes or CDs, or finding some great stuff on YouTube. I've got a Bagpipe Appreciation Day playlist that I put up and I add to it every year around Bagpipe Appreciation Day. But there's just tons of great stuff on YouTube now, and you can watch for free, or if you're on Spotify or Pandora or whatever. I find a lot of motivation and inspiration from listening to music. And sometimes it's piping related and sometimes it's not. One of the really fun things that you get to do as a musician is you get to hear a tune and then you say, wow, I love that tune. I would love to be able to play that tune. And then through a process of practice and hard work and time, you can play that tune. Now I got to warn you, some of the magic that you experience when you first hear that tune, that goes away once you've spent hours and hours and you've learned the tune and it's ready for performance or just playing for fun. It's a different kind of magic to be able to take something that you heard that is just so cool and interesting and special, and then to be able to do it. And then you get to share that with other people. So it's a fun thing about music. It's a challenge, but it's also a reward that you get to go out and share your music with others. So finding new tunes that you love, listening to music. And the question was, how do you find time with all your obligations? Well, one thing that I like to think about is that you get to play the bagpipes. You get to be a musician. You have the opportunity to do something fun and interesting and challenging and different. You don't have to, right? Nobody's making you do this. I don't know anybody who practices and plays the bagpipes for a living in terms of performing. Like, you have to do this. This is required. Now, there are people who make their living around bagpipes, like I'm one of them, but it's a choice. I don't have to do this. So that's a way to frame it is, I get to, I don't have to. And if you're feeling like pressure or negativity about it, take a break. And also reflect on what are the things that you love about the bagpipes? What are the things that you love about playing? Most bagpipers I know, they have the ability to be flexible, to choose what they want to do with it. Do I want to play in a band? Do I want to just play on my own? Do I want to do performances? Do I just want to play for fun? Do I want to stick with the tunes that I know and just try to make them better, or just play them? Or do I want to challenge myself by finding new tunes? So there's lots of opportunity there. So it's kind of a choose your own adventure. So that helps in terms of finding that inspiration and that motivation. You can also go back and you can go, well, what are the things that got me started on this path in the first place? Was it a performance that I heard somebody? Was it a connection to a really special teacher and mentor? Was it connection to a community like a pipe band or other type of cultural organization? Maybe the family thing. So if you can go back in time and try to reflect on what were those things that originally inspired you and try to reconnect with that. There's a really, really cool book that I have. It's called Peak Performance, and it's written by and for top level performers. They could be musicians, but a lot of the examples in this book are athletes. And he has a whole plan for how, the person reading this book, how you can go through and create this plan to be a top performer. And when I first read this, it was kind of surprising to me, because the first section of this plan, when you create your own plan, it's to write about all the things that motivate and inspire you, that got you going down this path. And what are the things that sort of like give you energy and commitment to keep driving? And I thought, well, that's really unexpected, because I'm reading this book, so therefore I'm really pumped up and fired up about being the best I can be, and figure most people reading this book would be in that same mindset. But what it says is that as you embark on this path of practice and commitment, sometimes you'll feel really motivated and inspired, and other times you won't. And that's okay, but it's good to have thought about these things, and it's good to have written them down, and it's good to have that documented. So it's not just a thought and emotion in your mind, or an emotion in the past, but you can, when you write it down and you have this in this sort of performance journal that you write down as part of going through this book, that you have it to remind yourself why it is you're doing what you're doing. And I think that is really good. I think that's a really good thing to do, because you won't always be so motivated and inspired. Finally, I would say, the other thing in the question was how to stay motivated despite busy schedules, obligations, and local instruction. Find people to connect with, whether it's a teacher, a mentor, friends you can get together and play together or talk about music together. Maybe it's just having a cup of coffee with some other musicians. Maybe they're pipers, maybe they're not pipers, but just having a community, having somebody to share ideas with, to get inspiration from their stories, that you can then sometimes give them inspiration. I'd also encourage you to perform. Performing music is an amazing thing that only musicians get to do. And it's a challenge because you really want to do a good job and you want to, not embarrass yourself, and you want to be excellent on all the things you're working on, whether it's blowing or technique or memorization or expression. So it's a challenge. It's also a reward. Playing music is a reward because when you get to play for people, it gives them joy and it gives them inspiration. And I wouldn't be playing bagpipes today if I hadn't heard pipers when I was really, really young. And I thought, I don't know what that thing is, but I love the sound of that thing and I want to do that and I want to be like those people. So who knows what you could do when you go out and you perform out in the world, whether it's a community event or in a parade or at a funeral or at a party or just playing in your yard or in your house where people can hear it. Who knows who you could inspire? So it's a reward. And finally, the third one, so it's a challenge, it's a reward, and it's a lesson. It's information. You learn about yourself, you learn about your strengths, you learn about your areas for growth, you learn about what you love, you learn about what your challenges are when you put yourself into that position, which is a little bit of a challenge and a little bit of pressure and a little bit of excitement that you only get when you're performing. So recommend you do that. And find people to connect with. Come to my event in New York if you can. Come to my event in Dallas if you can. Find online communities. I do this weekly classes on Zoom for members of my bagpipelessons.com inner circle. And my members love it, and I really love it. We connect every week, and not everybody can make it every week, so all the lessons are recorded, and they're available to watch on replay. But it really is something that I look forward to every week tremendously, to connect with pipers and meet new pipers and help people on this amazing, fun journey of learning to play the pipes. So I think that's a good place to wrap it up. This was fun. We didn't get through too many, but hopefully this was helpful to you. Thanks everybody for watching live here. If you're just watching on the replay, put a comment in there. Where are you from? Tell us where you're from. Tell us your name. Tell us a little bit about your piping. We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so that you know when we put new videos on. See, I like to do this. I like to just put on my phone. It's the sun's coming through the window here. Put on my phone and hit go live on YouTube. So I don't always schedule these things. So make sure you hit that bell to get notified. We got to Elio Borsato from Montrose, BC. Hey, Elio. Thanks everybody for joining in. We got someone from Brazil here. Amazing. We will see you next time. Come to New York if you can. bagpipelessons.com/NYC, or come to the Tartan and Taps event in Dallas. I'm really excited about both of those events. And I'm excited what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's been an amazing summer. We're transitioning to fall here. I've got lots of fun stuff planned here for bagpipelessons.com. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time, everybody. Mahalo.